have been a miracle woman. Anyway,
well, the thing is, that shrimp is now looking like it's going, oh, no. Is there another round coming up? Because I don't think I've got another jump in me.
It'll take him... Apparently it'll take him 3 hours to get exhausted. Anyway, from shrimp mills to ant mills. What does an ant mill do? Have you heard of an ant mill? Can you imagine an ant mill?
Ground ants.
Ground ants.
Delicious,
sir. Would like some ground ants.
bread?
They don't make bread, no. No, what happens is occasionally they lose the pheromone trail that the leaders of the foragers have, and they start following each other in a circle, and the circle just goes round and round and round and round until they die. They just get completely stuck in a loop.
Like an ultimate conga?
Yes. There was one observed in the 1920s. It was 1,200 feet in circumference. It took 2.5 hours for the ant to complete a whole circuit, and they were just going round and round and round, and they just just follow the one in front.
Like dads at a wedding.
Yes, basically.
So if one of them was a bit down,
yeah,
and wanted to take some others with it.
Yes, it could lead them on a false trail. Absolutely. Wouldn't that be beastly of it?
I've got a rule, like, if it comes in my house, then I'm allowed to kill it.
Right.
Trespassing.
So how many Jehovah's Witnesses have you told?
Yeah.
But if it's
laughing, but...
Under the floorboards, yes.
But if it's outside, then I have to leave it alone, because technically I'm in its house. That's
a rather sweet way of looking at it. Anyway, ants in an ant mill follow each other around in a circle until they die. And why shouldn't you breathe... Or, excuse me, what shouldn't you breathe in? What shouldn't you breathe in if you're a stink ant?
Well, is it your own...
Your friend's anus.
I think that's a general rule. I don't
think you don't have to be a stink ant. It's a really weird life cycle, this. It's a really creepy and unpleasant life cycle that the stink ant is a victim of. It spends its life in the rainforests of Cameroon, foraging on the ground, you know, eating bits of leaf mould and generally having a perfectly reasonable life. And way up in the canopy somewhere is this spore. And occasionally, like that, and, you know, fungus. And millions of these things drop down. And if the ant breathes it in, it eats the ant from inside, and it starts with the brain, and it sends the ant a bit mad. And it does something that the ant would never otherwise do. It makes the ant climb the tree. So the ant climbs the tree until it gets to a certain height, and it's kind of programmed its brain. It sounds insane. The ant then puts its mandibles into the tree and waits to die, and then the spore keeps growing and growing, and it pushes a shoot out of what was once the brain of this poor ant. It's eaten all its other soft parts, and this great shoot comes out, which produces more spore that drops down and drags up more ants. And we've got a picture, just in case you don't believe me, of a poor ant.
You've done a picture of this happening.
This is a real thing. This is the ant itself. They're climbing up, looking a bit unfortunate, but you'll be able to see, this is it here. It's being eaten from the inside, and there is the spore growing out of what was once its brain, and you can see the rest of its body has been eaten. And that is, and there's that spore growing out, and then it eventually stops and starts, the whole thing starts again. What a weird and cruel thing, isn't it? Isn't that amazing? It's like when people say there must be a God because of skylarks and water voles. You say, yeah, and because of that. It's called cordyceps, is the name of this particular fungus. And that's its life cycle, is basically to rain down onto the forest floor, get breathed in by an ant, make the ant go crazy, climb a tree, and complete the cycle.
Its human name. Special brew. that is a good visual representation of what the hangover's like off it, isn't it? Oh, what am I doing up a tree? Oh, my head feels like I'm growing spores.
Imagine if it happened to people.
Oh, my God.
To see someone up and say, oh, no, he's going up a tree.
Oh. And all the soft tissues get eaten. As you can see, it's not just the brain, it's all the bits lower down, all the soft tissues have been
just have to let them go.
I'd be really gutted if I breathed it in.
Yeah.
Didn't really climb the tree, fell off and just ended up with a bump. Because there wasn't enough material to fill. You just wake up and they go, what's that? And you go, oh, nothing.
There's plenty in there, but... And so, to the inevitable backbone of QI, general ignorance. So fingers on buzzers, if you please.
Right.
Name a vertebrate with no backbone.
Nick Clegg.
A popular answer.
Vertebrate without a backbone.
A vertebrate without a backbone. It seems an impossibility, but there is something that is classified as a vertebrate that has no backbone.
Worms.
No big...
Like a whale or something?
Well, it's not a mammal. It is a fish, though. Big fish.
Eel.
Dolphin?
A dolphin isn't really a fish, to be honest, is it?
Well, it looks like one.
It looks like one, I agree.
Stingray.
Well, stingrays and mantises actually don't have them, but it's the shark. Sharks are vertebrates. They're classified as vertebrates. They neither have rib cages nor do they have backbones. They have things that look very like a backbone, but they're half the weight of bone. They're cartilaginous matter with connective tissue. And there you can see a little cross-section of a shark.
He doesn't look very happy, does he?
No, it's a very cross-section.
You see the thing there, sort of right behind his eye? Just right behind his eye, going all the way back to his tail, along his back, that looks like a bone.
Yeah, that's
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know it's not bone, though. It is, as I say, it's not actual bone. It's cartilaginous matter. Cartilage, as we would say in England. But anyway, that's all I have to say on that subject. So, there we are.
Well, fine.
Next one.
Let that be an end to it.
Yes. What's the strongest creature for its weight in the world?
Is it Johnny?
Jeff Capes.
Jeff Capes. Good. There is a stronger man than Jeff Capes in the world at the moment. Zydrunas zaviscus, who
Can he pull a lorry along with his...
a 70-ton plane, but that's only 411 times his own weight, and obviously it has to have wheels, whereas this creature can pull a force equal to 100,000 times its body weight. When I say creature, I mean it is a living thing, but it's not even an insect. It's even
Not
tinier.
going to be our old friend bacterium.
It's a
again.
bacterium. It's a bug in that sense, yeah. And it's not one you want to catch. Let's be honest. It's one that would be most unwelcome in the trouser department.
Crab.
No. It's an actual bacterium, not an insect.
It's a gonorrhea.
Gonorrhea is the right answer for some reason.
Strongest thing in the world.
Yeah, the gonorrhea.
Pulls down your pants and...
That's your excuse for catching
Seriously,
it.
love, I didn't stand a chance.
Strictly bare. Look at how strong they are.
Apparently, they have these bundles of long, thin, contractile filaments called pilae.
Why is all that toast on the...
And they use these to crawl, and they can pull along 100,000 times their weight, which is a very small weight, admittedly, but nonetheless, there used to be an awful cure. Do you know what a cure for gonorrhea used to be? Yeah. They put a sort of umbrella up the urethra, press a button to sort of open the umbrella bit inside the shaft of the penis,
No one
and then
needs to
pull
hear
out.
it. We've heard it. We don't need to hear it.
I'd like to hear it. Tell us again.
You can only do it if they're in your house.
And if you had a particularly unsympathetic doctor, he'd then jump around the room going, I'm sick. I'm sick.
Yes.
And then they would
And he'd
cover...
splash in your own tears.
Yeah.
They then cover it in chocolate and sell it as ants.
Oh, dear me. Yeah, that's enough of gonorrhea, I feel. What do oyster catchers mainly eat? Yes?
Oysters?
They're just misnamed oyster catchers.
What, do they
It's not
catch
their main diet.
other shells?
Yes, cockles and mussels mostly.
Are they just not very good at catching the oysters?
They just love a cockle.
Are they mainly cockneys?
No, a huge percentage of European ones actually are in Britain. And the amount they catch, it's astonishing. Each oyster catcher can get 500 cockles a day, and given that half of the European population is in Britain, it's more than 300,000 birds, that's a potential seasonal consumption of 8.9 million tonnes of cockles.
I love a cockle.
I love cockle. Oh, in vinegar, just
With a little stick.
Pint of them, yep, that's it. Gorgeous.
From a
Slightly
man in a little mobile kiosk.
A little hint of grittiness sometimes in it.
A little bit of vinegar.
Yeah. Anyway, which animal has the most genes?
There's Lynham. Jeremy Clarkson.
Jeremy Clarkson. That's unfortunate.
It's to do with the age, it's not to do with the complexity.
Yes, it may be
Jeremy Clarkson.
Because some plant has got loads more genes than us.
Yes, there are quite a few things that have a lot more genes than us. The fruit fly has many more genes than we do. But this is actually just a little water flea.
And don't they think that's because of the age, that it's just been around for so long, it's mutated all these different times?
Yeah, 8,000 more genes than the human genome, which is quite a lot. And it doesn't do much, it lies around.
It carries its own umbrella.
It carries its own umbrella. And it's a very important part of the food chain in water. It's eaten by fish. And...
You can imagine the fish going, you can taste those extra genes.
Yes. Now, why are moths attracted to light? Oh, Alan, well done. You're good at this. Very good.
Well, I just feel that it would have come up. Someone would have told me.
Yes, you're right. There are various theories. One is that they're used to the moon and that other sources of light disorient it, and they use the moon for navigation, and there are all kinds of...
It does seem odd that they only come out at night, because, I mean, if they saw the sun, they would love it.
Yes, you do.
They go off in the morning, they go, look at that! It's the best thing... Because the amount they like my bedside lamp...
Exactly.
I mean, they love my bedside lamp, but the sun is significantly bigger than my bedside lamp. It's twice the sun.
Maybe that's why they don't, though, because if they went for the sun, I mean, they would all just go for the sun, wouldn't they? And then they would just fly into the atmosphere, and that would be a disaster.
Yes, some people believe that different sources of light confuse their navigation system, and others think that the moth may think the light is the moon. Others think the moths are attracted to the light because the infrared spectrum in things like candles may contain a few of the same frequencies of light that are given off by a female moth's pheromones. But they're all theories. The fact is, nobody really knows.
I like their ambition. I like to think that they think it's the moon, and they go, I can make it.
Yeah?
I can bloody do that. Look at these. Come on.
If you try and catch one, you know, if you're trying to kill it, like I do, because it's in the house.
If it's in the house, yeah.
And then you turn the light off. I always feel really guilty, because it's as if they go...
Yeah. So, nobody knows. And that mystery of what nobody knows brings us to the eternal mystery of the scores and how fascinating they are. In a resolute last place with -24 is Mr. Jimmy Carr. Almost teetering on the brink of plusness is Alan with -1. And Sarah Millican's first performance has been astonishing with +2. But tonight's winner with +4 is Johnny Vega! From Jimmy, Johnny, Sarah, Alan and me, apart from this final word from Bill Vaughan. We hope that when the insects do take over the world, they will remember with gratitude how we took them along on our picnics. Good night.
And QI is back here on BBC HD on Friday night at 10. And there's more from Stephen here tomorrow at 9 with a trip to Fry's Planet Word.